That's what I say. Okay.
You know,
Wait till the
I have to be off like
and
really soon. But so, do you feel like what do you need for else from me? I gave my vote. I
okay.
also, of
Now
course,
I need you to
like
repeat your vote now that the recording is on. But anyway, you voted for authenticity. You didn't care if it was one or two, as long as the thing
yeah,
was authentic.
of course, altruistically, I like room four. So, you know,
Yeah.
we go.
David, one and two, I agree that they're about genuine communication and attitude. And it reminds me a little bit of what you published on at the very beginning of your career. Management would claim one thing and be actually um, just manipulating the workers. And in both cases, we have to wonder how sincere the management is when they make claims. You
That's
know,
true. I mean, in the Administrative Science Quarterly piece, um, essentially the management
yeah,
thought that they could pull off selling their company to a conglomerate kind of thing, and from
yeah,
England. And actually, the workers knew all about it. The supply chain knew all about it. The salesmen knew all about it. And
yeah,
the only body
yeah,
being fooled was the managers who felt that what they were doing was not unknown to everybody else. But the word had gotten out through, I don't know, the wives' clubs or the whatever it was, the
yeah,
water cooler. The word got out. Everybody knew everything, you know.
yeah.
And I did that
Uh,
with focus groups and one-way mirror focus groups with customers, with vendors, with executives.
uh-huh. All
It was
right.
clear that everybody knew everything. If you
Yeah,
were an insider, if you weren't an insider, you didn't know. But
yeah. Well, oddly enough, cases three and four also intersect because in both cases we're wondering about the David in the David versus Goliath.
Yeah,
Who can do anything about with a lot of money. The whole problem, as I watch the United States from across the ocean, I explain to people that we've been a little bit admirative of people who make a lot of money for a long time. And it's just very hard to see them right away for what they are. And in the case of the Memphis case and the stakeholder case, the question there is, are there enough people ready to push back? Because it's a huge um, system for the billionaires, and the little voices in the corners are not going to get very far. They
yeah,
intrigue me more than wondering how sincere, because I don't think they are at all, the CEO uh, or the tech bosses are. Because for me, it's an open and shut. They will say what they've got to say to make more money. The Memphis and the stakeholder really everything has got to be built up um, from the ground floor. The United States lulled itself into thinking since Reagan that we were such a great country that these fat cats knew what they were doing, and there is a rising tide of people who are saying, "Oh, wait, just a minute. There's not an honest bone in their body." So the question, very pertinent at this point in history.
yeah, I think so too. I mean, I obviously I
I
agree.
think I need to take a small interjection here to say
Go
that
for
Okay.
it.
the
Yeah.
first assessment of the greedy corporate capitalists in the US is a little bit extremely cynical.
I
Like,
know, but
let's give a little
have
let's
you
give a
read
sliver,
Adam
guys. Like,
Smith? Have
let's
you
give
ever
a
read
sliver
Adam
this big.
Smith?
Wait, wait, let's give a sliver about this big in relation to the universe that
I know.
suggests
Well, that's where
that
my
perhaps
AI pushes back. I mean, my AI pushes
that
back.
that
That's
listen,
extreme. That's
I
dialectic. You're not being dialogical. That's he says
well,
that
I don't think.
he just yells it in my ear. You know.
Yes. So, well, what I want to say is like, I don't think that's wrong as like a population average at all. I think that's more accurate than any other version of reality. But I do think, to the point about people, things can be more complicated then versus the oversimplification. So like there may be an element, right? But then like we're all shaped by the things and then all the pressures and all the things. So like we don't know how these people started out or how they are on the inside or like any of these other important details. So that's all I will say.
Well,
Um,
that's why we do history,
yeah,
Cass,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes.
Every
yeah.
story.
I'm
But
yeah.
the other thing I want
I'm
to do is the socioeconomic, because we need a way. I want to get to a way to what do we do about it once we
Yeah.
yeah.
pathways. And then that's why I started a new YouTube channel, a new website. And I meet with you every week because I don't have a big audience, I don't have,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not like Elon Musk where 2 million people tune in because they worried about their stock prices or their jobs or they
Yeah.
want to
Well, and I
be an entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
what
Have
I
that.
want to I maybe want to go down this path a little bit because I think this is kind of the core issue here, right? Is like I feel like there could be a lot of value in like maybe understanding like so these like she was saying this David and Goliath and stories 3 and 4, but I think if we're even focusing on 1 and 2 and this sort of authenticity piece is like there have been a lot of documented histories about how and like we see it when we see like small businesses like progress and evolve as corporations and organizations is like there is a significant and extreme pressure to like look like everything else. This is like the legitimacy and isomorphism and dealing with the trade-offs of like growth versus, quality or like genuine whatever it is that they're trying to achieve there. So I think if there is an opportunity with any of these to understand better how like either systematically or individually people, regardless of the strength of their moral compass, regardless of the strength of their courage or their resolve to maintain integrity, for example, in some of these cases of these like rising CEOs or becoming very successful entrepreneurs, is there something that we could do to interject? And I mean, like an omniscient we, like, is there something that the individual can do to interject to maintain integrity or authenticity? Is there something that systematically we could do that opens up a space to allow people to be more courageous and more aligned with their internal selves? I feel like personally, that's like my life mission is like trying to like empower people to know that like there's always a choice and there's always another way. So this rooms of like infinite dimension is like very aligned with how I believe things are. But
Yeah,
it's
me too.
very it's very easy to talk about it and it's very easy for us to like have a fancy conversation about it. It's much more difficult assuming you believe it or you're willing to consider that it could be reality. How do I, individual I, anybody, how do I get the motivation, courage, ambition, strength to proceed as if I believe in these things, right? So because we have no idea if we sat down in a room with these people and they didn't have all of their stigmatized mental schemas, like how they would receive this type of information. So I think finding some way to create a higher degree of openness as a society, albeit whatever society and whatever country,
Well,
it's always good.
they're good points. In this, think I think we might have lost Betty's screen, but hopefully she's still hearing us.
Well, yeah, I don't have you guys at all. I have the text, so maybe it's what I,
That's okay.
oh, yes, yes, okay. I was on I clicked on Tomorrowland Tonight and thought that's what the only choice was. Yeah. So I'm here. Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying that the book that was edited by Amadine Saval on business
Yeah.
storytelling, socioeconomics, in the first essay, um, lead author is Henri Saval, and then Amadine is also an author on it. Anyway, and Marc Bonnet and Veronique Zardet. So it's Henri Saval, Veronique Zardet, Mark Bonet, and then Amandine Sabal. So Henry Sabal, Cassie passed away a couple weeks ago. So we're,
Oh, right. Yeah.
but one of the things he said in the chapter that they wrote, and it's chapter 1 of the whole volume, edited by Amandine, was that storytelling by itself is not good enough. That you needed to go in and observe, gather reports and documents, do interviews. In other words, you needed to do a lot more data gathering than just treat each story as a data point and have another story,
Mm,
another story. So that's the kind of analysis that I'm talking about with contextualizing each of the
Yeah.
stories, or call them narratives if you prefer, of the 4 cases. And then we come back and say, okay, well, this is what we've interviewed, or we found interviews out there, we found other documents, we've analyzed them, and now we're ready to position the first story in a kind of a mirror effect, mirroring the other kinds of information that are there. And I hope I'm explaining it well, Betty, because I know this is more that you're
yeah.
excited about this area as I am.
Well, yeah.
So that's what I would do with the thing. I would take the story and then start building the contextual Tamara around it, one of which is the socioeconomic, another is the terse telling and the glossing that's happening. You may not be familiar. Call it authenticity.
Mm,
Authenticity that's there, or they're glossing the authentic, and it's really, there's something beneath that rumbling around that we need to look at. So it's that kind of depth analysis. I'm making up the word depth analysis in a different context here, but
I make up lots of words.
Paul, you're so quiet. We don't know if what you're doing. Veteran of Missouri, turn on your sound and we will endure it, and tell us what's happening. I will turn off my sound and maybe that will help you.
I think you have to turn off your speakers because this has happened before.
Well, yeah, it's just, it automatically comes in at the default setting, which is speakers or something. You have to change it to my my computer setting for speaker. Boom, it does it that way. But don't worry about it, Paul. Just, I can endure the noise. Just tell me what's up. Okay, you have to turn your volume up, or you have to do something. Let's see if you act. Not hearing you at all now. Now I hear you. Now I hear you.
You are not,
oh,
there's a
he's not
lag.
hearing.
My ability to control by clicking away on icons is very frustrating.
Yeah, no.
Either
Down
there's a
there.
lag,
Did it
if,
right.
turning my video on, turning it off. I turned it on. It takes quite a few seconds to actually come on. As far as I'm seeing it, and what I'm seeing and what you're seeing, and the controls that I push to get some result that works for me, I don't know if it's working for you. It's this Proton has, it's making me
We hear you.
appreciate Zoom's, technical finesse. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I'm tempted
Go,
to go
Paul.
back.
I understand you, Paul.
We can hear you,
Yeah,
Paul. Go.
yeah. I've
Go,
had
go,
more
go,
than
go, Paul, go.
yes, I wish I had something that I felt was intelligent to say about all this. I missed the first half hour. Um, and in general, I am moving in a domain where I feel always overboard.
Interesting. Oh, my screen. I don't know what. Eddie, doing screen sharing. Yeah.
In the 4 questions and the 4 choices.
Go ahead. Betty, I think you're in screen.
No, Betty's not sharing.
Where?
Everyone needs
Oh.
to quiet down and let Paul speak.
All right, Paul, speak.
Uh, I have one thing to say, and it is only based on the one thing they have to say is that SEAM, my understanding of the whole enterprise is it started 20 years ago and that it achieved some degree of success, and this is what mystifies me, it achieved some degree of success in changing organizational behavior. Is that a true statement, yes or no?
Are you hearing the crackling sound?
I have no crackling, and I didn't even hear you.
Okay, carry on.
He asked a question. I don't
I,
know what
There's
seam.
Betty. I can see Betty now.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I came back. I was frozen for a while. Yeah, Paul,
What,
Seam
what,
was
what,
quite successful for the companies. It was quite successful for the companies that um, sought the help of Sabal's group, traded that wider, at a larger level, his ideas did not get taken up. David, he was asking whether Seam made a big splash.
Seam, I hope that I'm coming through. Seam has a track record of 20 years of working with organizations. Yes? Okay. Then Seam, if it has been trying to rearrange to change the tendency of corporations to misbehave, they have been trying to get, and I get this is what comes from Tom and Olivia. Our goal is to get organizations to understand that treating people humanely and treating the world, just acting as better corporate beings. If you do that, it will be good for your bottom line. Is there proof of this? If there is proof of it, please name the corporations that they have worked with and succeeded in making this point to the dunderhead people who are running big organizations. That should be as simple to me as and I
Okay.
don't know same. I'm ignorant. I
All
mean,
right.
I know,
I'll tackle that answer. Um, they've not been successful with just about any U.S. corporations. Zero.
but
So
you're
the name what
implying
I'm familiar
that
with, they've been successful in South America, Africa, Europe, other continents, not Australia too much, not the
France.
States.
but what there is record evidence, proof of success of them working
Yeah,
with
yeah.
organizations and
Mark
getting them to
Helen
change
did
their
this
corporate behavior.
in their library.
What?
So
They have over 2,000 cases, and they
Uh,
got recorded in a
uh,
archive. And he did a survey
Okay.
on it. Yes. So the
So
answer
I
is yes.
said, if you're going around, if I'm going around, if I were going around and trying to sell somebody something, okay, uh, I said, here is proof of success of what I want to have happen, what I'm selling. Here is proof that it works. Here's evidence.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a simple thing that I land on when I look at all of the spinning wheels and sparks and flames going off in
I,
all direction
I
about the 20
put
versions of AI and all of the game playing that is involved. My mind, it's too dizzy for me. You guys are much better at walking through the hall of mirrors, I'm going to call it, and like in some science fiction movie, here I am in the maze, in the labyrinth, in the place where the enemy is trying to trip me up and deceive me. I am not deceivable. I cannot be tripped up because I know where I stand and I have my feet on the ground. I'm trying to reduce it to something that's very elementary for me in the words that I'm using.
That's beautiful.
So
Um,
Yeah,
can I,
I would, of course.
oh, I just wanted to respond to that
Go
really
ahead.
quickly because um, I think this general idea is sort of like, I feel like the question is becoming like, what is the point or how is this different? Like what David's doing, like what's going to be the difference between this and the seam that's already existed and is not successful. Okay. And I think what
It's
I
not
understand,
successful in the USA, but it is
I know,
successful worldwide.
but I
Yeah.
think regardless of where it is or isn't successful, what these mechanisms maybe don't do that what you're doing could do is I think that it's what I try to do with everybody who tells me their mental schemas that are ridiculous is that if you source the schema back to a history that is a verifiable history, then it's like you nobody can be convinced of anything unless they change their mind themselves. So I think what
Truism.
David does, yeah, I think what David does is it's like you present the information, so you're not saying you're sitting on a house of cards, but you're basically showing them how the house of cards got constructed and that it's made of cards. And so then it becomes very difficult for a person to say that the way that a corporation can be successful is through stakeholder, what is this? Shareholder value, right? Like that
Yes,
this
shareholder value versus stakeholder value. So,
yeah, but like this is what we say is like these are the traditional ways of explaining like these different options that he has here. And then that when you source it back, maybe what happens is the people that buy into one way or another recognize that the source of this belief is not necessarily accurate. And so I think that's where the value can be. I feel this is very much a frame that I use to help. I'm not going to say convince people of things because I don't feel like I'm trying to like make somebody
well,
come
you
to
have to show
my
the
way.
evidence, right? You got to show the
But
evidence.
it's more just like, yeah, I feel like it's more just like opening the space to create a sense of acknowledgement that like that everything is kind of made up. So like because it's too difficult to say we should care about people because the truth is if people care about money, they're going to care about money. But if we talk about like why we care about money and why we think we care about money in a way that kind of debunks our value base in the caring about money, then I think by default we would start to be more open to caring about people.
Okay. Betty, go ahead. And thank you, Cassie.
Yeah, I want to thank you, Cassie. I wanted to tell Paul that I think that, as we were saying before you came on, I think if the prompt is helpful, then the answer is going to be much better founded. And in this case, the premise of your question, I think, is it will never work. What they promise a company is not that they will show them how, by being a better actor, by caring about their people, they are going to gain in efficiency. They have this quadruple direction that they go in, but mostly it's about economic performance. But the social part, it's socio-economic. The social part does not take over. It's not that by being a better actor they're going to. And it is so complex that nobody is ever going to pretend to say, let me show you why SEAM works better. They even don't like to invite you to come just take a look. They would like you to go through their training because it is an upheaval of everything that a lot of companies do. And what I thought was great was the finances are a huge part, but they bring in how the communication between the different people in the company is going to make finances better and help people feel better. So you can never just say, why don't they just show us the proof? Also, the second premise to what you ask, I think would never be possible. It's that they did succeed with companies that went through the training. The fact that American companies didn't get really into learning about the method doesn't it tells us that they didn't not succeed is they did not look into it, and the ones that did look into it were looking for something very different. They were not answering Henry Saval's skill set,
I
you
did
know.
some. I did some.
And honestly,
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead. Let me finish.
go ahead.
I
So I
said I
was
did.
just going to end.
Go ahead.
Okay. The end of it was everybody does get. I wanted to reassure Paul. People get frustrated when they want to know what it's all about, and it's not containable. You know, has to be looked into. Took me years. Took me years.
I mean,
I'm ready,
let
David.
me just say, Paul, I taught this thing for 20 years in the United States, but to small businesses. Okay, not to the big corporations. In the United States, the AI industry, since that's what I'm talking about here, they use the following consulting firms: Booz Allen, McKinsey, Deloitte, and about six others. These are multi-billion-dollar uh, corporations that are consulting firms. They're not about love. They could give a shit about love. Okay, they're not
Mm,
about human value. They're the ones that design the consulting companies, because I know them, I've identified them. They're the ones that went into Missouri and had them hire a developer, had them do a pitch deck, had them do memorandums of understanding where the commissioners couldn't say anything about the films they saw because they said it was proprietary, and told them that they were going to be more efficient, therefore there'd be more jobs, therefore they'd have a better tax revenue, they're going to have a good citizen here in the AI Datacenter, blah, blah, blah. So they fed them a line of bullshit. And that's the MBAs coming out of Harvard, Northwestern, Stanford. They go to work for these companies. They're recruited because they're expected to be in league with the oligarchy. They're expected to, be about building shareholder value. Now, in France, in South America, Africa, Central America, etc., Mexico, even, the SEAM works on the following thing: minimum 3-year contract. Number two,
mm,
can't lay anybody off. Number three, the people that you were going to lay off, we reposition them into little groups that do projects that can generate revenue. They have a timeline, they have a project proposal. If they bring in money, they get profit sharing. The United States companies are not going for profit sharing, they're going for profit maximization to the top
mm,
of the pyramid and to the shareholders for stock speculation. It's not, we haven't had democracy and that kind of thing since Reagan and Thatcher. That doesn't exist in the UK, the United States, or Australia. I'm going to mute my microphone.
David, I'm sorry guys, I have to get off. But
Well, I got your assignment. I'm going to write the next course and bring it
I,
next week and
I
try to demonstrate some of these analyses. Now, I will say, Paul, and thank you, Cassie, for showing. You really brightened our whole day by showing up today. I appreciate it. Glad to know you
and
got a job.
Eddie, send me an email.
So, number one,
yeah, Uber, I need to talk to you. Yeah.
But
everybody needs to go. Paul, this is for you. We do hidden cost analysis from SEAM, whether or not they do the whole or not. And that means what are the hidden costs of the AI data centers being formed in Missouri or anywhere else? And a hidden cost to the environment, to health, to human employment, to the tax base of the company, of the county, to the electrical bills. So those are hidden costs that aren't analyzed when these developers come into Missouri, to cite your example.
Yeah.
yep. So much of this, I'm going to say, so much of this is echoes down corridors of thinking that I have been in for at least 20 or 30 years in a different way for different reasons, and we are not in the same soup exactly. But that has to do with Schumacher, All is Beautiful. It has to do with Buckminster Fuller. It has to do with a lot of thinkers before we got here. What I see us is drowning in a sea of bullshit. And the idea of externalities and the tragedy of the commons, there is so much going on that has an
That's
ex-
beautiful,
it
beautiful.
has an explanation, okay? And the trouble is that the people who keep winning all of the time are the numbers. The bean counter guys have the microphone. And if we
Mm,
say, "Oh, we're going to hand complete control," well, look what happened in Ukraine, okay? And look what happened with Lech Walesa and Václav Havel. Václav Havel was a dramatist. Lech, uh, Vladimir Zelensky was a comedian, a TV comedian. They have been
yeah,
put in charge. They have been put in charge. They came into power. Whatever word you're going to say it, they came into a position of power to make decisions. Okay, and the average, ordinary, typical academic or regular person, I'm going to say, looks at him and say, "What are your qualifications to run the Ukraine and fight a war with that son of a bitch, Putin? He's going to run circles around you. He's got more power, more savvy, more diabolical, ruthless, particles in his little finger than you have anywhere in your entire body. You cannot possibly defeat him." Ukraine doesn't have the 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 macho, whatever it needs, the chutzpah, whatever to win. And so, how long has this been going on? Uh, what I'm saying is that we see constant victories by the people who keep getting away with their persuasive bullshit because they appeal to people based on greed. And as long
mm,
as greed is at the heart of any analysis, the analysis is going to keep coming out the way it comes out. And
yeah.
so, how do you walk into the corporate, bedroom? And Aaron Brockovich, that movie, and the other one was Cher, who challenged, I forget who the movie was, Cher challenged somebody who was here in Missouri, a polluter of the environment. Can't remember their name. It goes back 20, 25 years. All
Wow.
of this stuff, all of this stuff has been dramatized in the movies, and it's in westerns and all sorts of fiction. And the exasperating thing, I mean, I'm so glad that we're doing this, is how in the world do we break on through to the other side? Cassie said something that I think is vital, and something that I keep asking myself and telling myself, and that is, you have to get out of your comfort zone, your seat, your divan, from behind the computer, and go to that place that unfortunately isn't exactly physical, but you must go to the place that you want the world to be. It's easy to say you must be the change you wish to see in the world. I'm 100% in favor of that. But it would help me go through the agony of changing myself if there was this little place it had the magic decoder ring or the button that I could press that would take me to the place that I can feel myself. This is what it will be like. This is what utopia will be like. And I know, even as I'm saying these words, you can't do it. You can't ever get there. You have to have the vision of a
Sure.
world that works. And we've watched all the social experiments in the 1800s, the Amana colony, the New Harmony in Indiana. There are people who said the Amish, lots of people have tried to put together intentional communities. They've done, the scientists have done it with what I forget the two spheres in a desert, where they put a bunch of people in and say, "Oh, we're going to keep you here as if you were on Mars for 2 years," and there is
Oh,
no
I remember that. Yeah.
no exchange somewhere in New Mexico or Arizona. No Cargo Santi. There isn't going to be any exchange between you guys inside the bubble and you're going to be self-contained inside the bubble, and everything human, everything scientific, all the garbage, all the feces, all the urine, all the bugs, all the flies, everything that human beings have to deal with is going to have to be dealt with, and you cannot escape dealing with it. What happens when the corporate people and the governor of the state just spoke on our fanciest campus blowing the horn for data centers. And I wasn't able to follow it. I wish I would have gone down there to listen to him and taken some rotten tomatoes to throw in, because he is so deeply in the pockets, and the entire Republican legislature of this state is in the pockets of greedy bastards, because guess what? They're all greedy bastards. And the Democrats have them too. There is no monopoly on greedy bastards. But for all people who are idealistic and wear halos like the three of us and aren't greedy, uh, it's and what I wanted to say, or I'm prepared to listen to you, and this comes straight from Ken Long. I want to see that you, the other person on the other side of the table, have skin in the game. Otherwise, shut up. I want you to put your neck out and
Well,
show me. I
yeah.
want you to put your neck and show me what it's like to put out your neck. Because if you keep saying all this rosy bullshit about, well, yeah, we are going to be hard on the water and we are going to draw down the electricity, and but dot dot dot. It's a con man.
Well, here's a proposal. If you could get me a recording of that guy who spoke, I can analyze.
um, the governor's speech. I've been so busy with other stuff. I've been working with
But is it the
Jim on his
governor?
book.
The governor
Uh,
was speaking. Let me write a note. So
it was Governor Kehoe was in the last 2 or 3 days, and I don't know if they called a conference, but it was on the campus in Rolla, Missouri, of Missouri Science. It's now called, used to be called the School of Mines, a loving terminology, but it's where the smartest S&T kind of people in the state go to get an education or a degree, and they're
okay.
all engineers.
Oh,
They
and
are
when
not. They do.
happened?
You can get a degree. I will try to get that and send it to you if I can.
I can find it if it's available. Governor of Missouri, Raleigh campus, School of Mines.
Okay, the name of the university is Missouri S&T. The conference, or the gathering of all bright-minded people, happened within the last 5 days. It wasn't yesterday, and it wasn't the day before. And the governor, Kehoe, Kehoe, delivered an address. Mike Kehoe, the governor, is the only one of the 50 governors who does not have a college degree.
Well,
He is one of those zombie suckers that it's easy for the flashy guys with their big buckets of money to just suck in. He wound up in the governor because of a whole crazy series of things. He's like Trump. He's an imposter. He's an SOB who has gotten.
notes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting pretty passionate about this, but
No,
Mike
it's fine.
Kehoe.
I asked you to pick a case. You picked a case. I accept the challenge.
And it is an example. This is the powers that be. This is the political power in the state of Missouri. The governor, I'm going to just say the governor, um, addressing an august audience of really smart people, trying to say, "Oh, these data centers. You know what's going on? The Chinese are behind. The Chinese are subverting. They are the ones who are behind all the negative uh, fufa surrounding data centers. The Chinese are the ones. In other words, the statement being made: the Chinese are the ones behind the trashing of the idea of data centers. They are like the what did Trump call them at the reflecting pool? The vandals who
All
who
the
obviously are the reasons why this thing has gone belly up, is these asinine spectators who walk up and tear out the shit from the bottom of the pool. It's just like
they're
it's just it's
ripping the liner.
yeah, and it's just whatever you say, they've got an excuse. It's like the little boy in the fourth grade, my own children or myself when I was a kid. You want to blame me and punish me for something that I did? Well, I got a million stories to tell you, and that's Trump. Doesn't matter what goes wrong. I got a story. I'm gonna fill the air with bullshit, and if I fill the air with bullshit, um, and you don't shoot me or you don't take me out of the equation, move me off the stage, take the microphone out of my hand, as long as Trump has the microphone, he is brilliant in terms of figuring out how do I hold on to the power that I have. And the answer is I just turn up the volume. It was the original Nazi. If you tell a big lie and you tell it often enough, it will
Mhm.
succeed.
Yeah.
I'm
This is
really
not
glad
rockets.
you're passionate, Paul. Thank you.
I'm passionate because I'm a historian. I'm not, I don't understand organizations.
I
I have
understand
some understand.
organizations, so I can help you on that. And
Uh,
Betty is
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
socioeconomic, the arts.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I'm very lucky, Paul. I've had occasions to learn from people like Bakhtin and Henri Saval, who helped me put pieces of the puzzle together. But I continue to lament, on top of everything else, I agree with you, it's that we have complacently walked from, for me, it's starting with Reagan, but the robber barons show that nothing was new and original during Reagan's time. But we have all let the
Yeah.
powerful and the fat cats uh, have their way. So my biggest hope is that in our lifetime, which may not be, but our lifetime, the other people on earth who've been thinking other things can teach us a few lessons. Oddly enough, it won't be the Swedish, like we think, the whitest country you can find. I think it's going to be people whose cultures continue to be vibrant, but we'll see. But everything you said, Paul, made me realize that cases 3 and 4 are vital. Erin Brockovich is a very good example for how to fight back. And so, what would you like us to do, David, this week? Let you
Oh,
know.
I showed up to be an audience and sounding board and mirror effect. So
Yeah.
uh, one of the things I'm going to try to put this link in here in the chat. Okay, that appears to have worked.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
this is a
But
video I did of me standing up for New Mexico.
yeah,
And
is that what
Yeah.
that is?
so it's very
Dynamite.
short. I think it's 37 seconds long or something like that. If you want to look at it,
I,
um,
Okay.
before here's this is what drives me crazy. I have to be able to save the chat, and I haven't figured that out. It drives me crazy in Zoom. How do I save the chat?
well, in
There's no
Zoom, there's a link and it says save the chat in the chat. But here,
never. I
just
never see that.
highlight it, push Control C, go to a notebook or a Word document, press Control V. Control C and Control V are your big things. They work on every computer.
Okay, yeah, but I have a Mac,
Control,
and so
you highlight, hold down the Control and the C, the letter C. Then you go somewhere else and you hit Control and V, and that'll paste it.
well, okay. Here I am
Oh,
in
just
Proton.
click on it.
Here I am in Proton. I'm
I
just
will try to
following.
share this 30 seconds with you because it's probably
Um,
here.
Oh,
well, my
sorry, that's me.
one of the things I can
Oh,
do. Oh,
Let me
okay. I
let me
clicked.
see if
I
I can
clicked on what
share.
you showed me, and it says open a girl link. So the video you just sent me, which is coming up somewhere, and I have to open the link in order to see it. Ah, my heart can't drink. It's great. It's great. Am I still there? I'm not sure that I'm any longer.
You're here, but I'm
I
trying
think you
to show
are.
you the video.
I got it. I mean, I got to it. That's great. That's you standing.
Okay, you got to it. I'll
My
go
horse
back.
can't drink. My horse needs water. It's great.
Yeah,
Um,
so I'm building those to um, state my case, at least where I live. And then, wait a minute. Okay, let's just allow Mr. Let's just don't allow. See if I can stay here. Okay, I just wanted you to have that link to the video so you could see it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
so
what
that's
I
what I'm
captured
doing. I've
it.
gone
Thank you.
from getting downloads from aliens to making my own videos again, like I used to do, and stating my case on This is what's happening to water. This is what data centers are doing. I live in New Mexico. We don't have enough water to go around. Get a clue. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I captured it.
Well, I need to wrap this up, so let me stop the recording here. Thank you very much.
All right.